Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and welcome to Not Perfect Zen. I hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you joining me here today. It is the beginning of March, and it's hard to believe that in Houston it's in the 80s almost. I mean, it's warm here, while other parts of the country are having snow, record snowfall. So anyway, with it being March, I've been looking for ideas of things to do for St. Patrick's Day. I don't celebrate it or anything, but it is one of the holidays in March. And I found this pattern, and I'm not sure how to say it, Kaitio or Kaitio by Donna Pederson. She's a CZT, and you can do this with 3 or 4 leaves, however you want to. And I actually came up with something that I thought was an original idea, may not be, but I took Abukas and kind of changed it up a little bit to look like shamrock. So that's what I'm going to show you today. It'll be fun. And I also wanted to mention that Abukas is what they call a tangleation of Arukas, which is a Zentangle pattern. And so I am doing a tangleation of a tangleation, if that makes sense. And I'll also show you how it turned out in green. And I did that one this morning. I think you'll have fun with it. And it's not hard at all. So I'm going to be using a 3.5-inch white tile, Micron 01, Zentangle graphite pencil, a blending stump, and I might use my white pen to do the gemstone in the middle. Okay, normally we would do the 4 corner dots and a border, but we're really not going to put a border on this one. We're just going to put this in the center and have some little shamrocks coming out the edges. So we're actually going to start with our Micron 01. And somewhere toward the center, I'm going to put an orb. And I would say that's about the size of a dime, not very big. I don't know if I could show you on here. Anyway, it's not very big. And what we're going to do next, if you look at this one, is we're going to make these tall petals to start with. And then on this one, I made them more like a heart. So you can decide which one you like the best. I think I liked this one the best, so that's what I'm going to do. So we're just going to come up. It's going to be skinny at the bottom. Come up and do a little dip and come back down. Okay, and so that one is a little bit shorter than our cap. We're going to do that on all sides. And mine probably will not be the same length or width at the bottom. Doesn't matter. What matters is that you enjoy what you're doing. And I had fun with this one. Okay, so as with Arukas and Abukas, the next thing that we do is we're going to put these lines in between the petals. So it's like this ring is going behind the petals. And on that green tile, I had already colored it with watercolor ahead of time. Okay, so now that we've put these lines in between, we are going to aura the petals that we already had down there. And I'm attempting to make this about the same distance as I did that little ring. And just take your time. Always turning your tile to make it easier on your hand. That's always been one of my favorite things about Zentangle is what Maria and Rick call the elegance of limits, that you just have this small piece of paper. We're not trying to fill in a huge canvas. Okay, now that we have the lines in between each of these, we are going to aura these little petals again. Now, if you happen to see what I'm doing here and someone else has already done that, I would like to know. Okay, so now we have 2 auras on each of these, and we're going to put the aura around the center ring again. And then we're just going to keep going like this until we feel like it's gone big enough and looks like a shamrock. Remember to breathe. Remember to relax your shoulders. Okay, so now we're ready to do between the petals again. Okay, back to doing these auras. And like I said, if you want to make this look more like heart-shaped leaves, you can do that. Might be interesting to try this with other shapes on your petals also. Okay, so now our little auras in the center between the petals. Okay. And go at least one more time, at least this one, and we'll see how it looks. My granddaughter loves to find the clover leaves in our yard. And if there's only 3, she'll split one of them and say, look, I found a 4-leaf clover. All right, let's go ahead and add one more. So we're going to put this here between our little petals. Okay, and we're going to do one more. Kind of lost the little dip, so I'm going to bring that down a little bit so that the outside looks like it dips down a little bit more. Probably do the same thing on this one. I'm going to come up, I'm going to dip down a little, come back up. I'm going to do the same thing on each of these petals so they look kind of the same. Down a little bit, back up, and back in. Okay. So there's my version of an Abuka shamrock. All right, so in the center, I'm going to put a fescue, and I'm going to start right there, come kind of at the edge, and then make a loop that comes around and put the end on it. And do that in each one of these. Okay. Last one. Okay. So now we have fescue in the center. And I'm going to show you real quick on the back of this how we do this pattern. She has kind of a wavy line that goes along. And then she starts by putting a petal that touches that line. And then I like to turn it and then go opposite of that and add another petal. And then turn and add another petal here and another petal here. Okay. She also does one petal and then across from it, maybe add a petal, and then on this side, add another petal. Okay, so you can have a 3-leaf or a 4-leaf, however you want it. You could decorate inside of this or just put the little hash marks inside of each one. Okay, so that's how that pattern works. And that is the Kaitio. I'm not sure, like I said, how to say that. And what I'm going to do is between the petals, I'm just going to make kind of a loop, make it go wherever you want it to go. And I'm going to put that little fescue end on it. And then put a couple of these for release. And then just a few little lines at the base of each of these leaves. Okay, let's put another one here. Okay. And just a couple of lines at the bottom. And then I'm just going to have a little fescue come off this way. Maybe one come up this way. And then go to the next side. Okay, and it looks like little hearts. None of them are perfect little leaves. Just have fun with it. Okay, I think on this one, I'll try just a 3-leaf. Okay. And then let's have another one come up this way. This one will also just be 3 leaves. Okay. Let's go to this side. And you can add as many or as few of these as you would like, or put a different pattern in there. As always, I encourage you to make this your art. You don't have to copy mine exactly. I don't know why, but it just makes it easier for me to get these first 2 petals down if I turn it upside down. Have another one come out this way. Okay, we'll let that one be a 3-leaf. Okay, on to this side. I still need to look at all of the patterns that have been released for the month of March since Tangle Patterns started and see if I can maybe find something else that's good for St. Patrick's Day. And it would be fun to add some color to this. Okay. And like I said, you could add as many of these as you would like. Let's have another little fescue come out here. All right. So now I'm going to show you how to shade it and add a little gemstone in the center. And I really enjoy doing this with just a graphite pencil. I've done them with all the colors before, but it's fun to show you how to do it with just graphite also. Now I'm going to start by adding a little bit of shading just to the sides of each of these. Okay, then I'm going to get my blending stump. Just soften that a little bit, and I'm pushing it up toward the top of the petal. Okay, I like how it makes this stand out. So we're going to do that all the way around. You don't need much, but that's totally up to you. I think it's Martha with the Zentangle group that really likes to add a lot of shading. Either Martha or Molly. And I love watching their videos. A little bit on the side of this one. And if you've watched my videos before, you know that I get into what I'm doing and I forget to talk, so that's okay. Also, I don't speed up my videos. There are settings within YouTube where you can speed them up if you want, or slow them down. If you wanted to, you could put a little bit of graphite. I'm just going to use what's on my blending stump and just tiny bit of shading where this dips down. I'm not going to put a lot. Okay, and it just kind of gives it a little bit of the look that it's dipping down in the center. And since I put these marks here on these, I'm not going to worry about shading those. But let's do our gemstone. I'm going to have that be the top of it. So with my pencil on the side, I am going to add a fairly good amount of graphite up here on the top. And I want to make sure that I get it all the way to that line. And then I'm going to lightly go around the bottom too, but not as wide as I did up here at the top. Okay. Let's add just a little bit more here. And then I'm going to put just a little oval here, just as a reminder to myself that I don't want my graphite to go into that spot. So now I'm just going to soften this at the top, and then I'm very lightly bringing that graphite down into this part. Okay. And I'm not going over that little spot there. Just coming close to it very lightly. And it looks like a little shiny spot. Okay. And then I'm just going to darken this up here at the top a little bit more. Okay. And then just soften it again. And I'm barely touching down here at the bottom. Okay. And with my phone, that looks a little bit grainy, but it's okay. In person, it looks better, and yours will too. And then if you have a number 10 jelly roll, or this is actually a uniball Signo, either one of those will work. Let's see. I like to test my pen, make sure it's working, and it is. And we're just going to put a little mark across the top here to make it look more like a gemstone. Okay, so that's it. Very simple. Add your chop, add the date, and any other information that you want on the back of your tile. Again, what we used was Kaitio and Abukas to make tangleation of this into a shamrock. All right, thanks again for joining me today. I do appreciate when you hit the like button and your comments. I read all of my comments and I try to respond to every one of them. And I really appreciate you watching my channel, and hope that you come back next time. Thank you. Have a great week. Bye.